This is the L2C Media Network on YouTube. And this is Sports Final with Steve the Baxman Baxley, brought to you by the L2C Media Network. And now it's Wednesday. It's insane, but he tries to keep it in perspective. We got big ass sporty balls, and they never sweat. They glisten. Here's the Baxman. Okay, I want to know who wrote that. Good evening. There we go. Hey, how you doing? I'm a little. There we go. Okay, thank you much. Next time, warn us. All right, how you doing, everybody? Steve the Baxman Baxley here. We got a full show for you tonight. You don't believe me? Well, we do. I mean, we really do. Did he do? I'm trying to. There we are. Yeah. Let's go back over here. Thank you. Oh, have we got a good show tonight? Ooh la la bassoon. Just a moment. Can we bend that just a wee bit? I wanna get our chair here. Mm. There we are. All right. Hey, how you doing? Now we're okay. How you doing, everybody? One day that back is going to have a backdrop, so we won't have any problems with light shining through. But anyway, yeah, we might just do like a little special green screen. Anyway, you want to hear from me, but me to do it with sports. And today we are full of action. Do we want to give everything? I'm asking our producers. Just give me a nod or something if we want to update people on everything. Can we do we do? We do. Um okay. Okay. Do we have scores to give? I just want to know if we got scores to give, guys. We do? Okay, then let's do it. All right, kids. Here we go. We got some women's Olympic soccer and a humongous stunner. Now, we do have this. We do have to air this little sound effect. So bear with us. We do have a little sound effect we have to air. Thank you. We're just testing it out right now. Okay, here we go. We got everything. We're ready. Good. Fast time. Got a lot for you tonight. We only highlighted it on our new scoreboard, but right now, that's right. It's our spoiler alert siren. I wish we had a hockey siren for it, but we got to keep this. That's right, folks. If you don't want to hear the scores of the soccer games or if any of the games, we're giving you that warning. That warning means turn us down for about, I guess, 5 minutes or so. I don't see why we have to do that, but mainly it's probably, I think, for our West Coast viewers. Anyway, if you hear that, if you don't want to hear the scores or anything like that, just plug in your ears for a few moments. So let's get to it, shall we? Thank you. We shall. Okay, in the group state. Okay. Oh, we must do the countdown. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't want to hear the scores, unless the games are already done, the moment I end this statement, we do it. Oh, ready? Everybody, turn down your sets because here we go. In Group E in Sapporo, it was Great Britain over Chile 2-0. In Miyagi, Group F had Brazil wiping the floor with China 5-0. A stunner a stunner to open up Group G as Sweden demolished the United States 3-0 that in Tokyo. We also had in Group E, Japan and Canada tying at 1 from Sapporo. In Miyagi, it was Netherlands just slam dancing. Zambia 10-3, and Australia over New Zealand 2-1 in Group G action. Now tomorrow, check that. Saturday, in the groups, you got Chile versus Canada, 3:30 a.m. Eastern time. That'll be, of course, Group E. Group F, also on Saturday at 4 a.m., China versus Zambia. Group G will have Sweden versus Australia at 4:30. You can catch that game live on NBCSN. Group E, Japan versus Great Britain, 6:30 a.m., the network to be determined, as, of course, the NBC broadcast family. Group F at 7 a.m. will have Netherlands and Brazil. And Group G will have New Zealand versus the United States. This is technically a must-win for the U.S. That game will be shown 7:30 a.m., also on NBCSN. So there you go. By the way, to round it out, let's round it out in total. Tuesday, July 27th, Group G, U.S. versus Australia, 4 a.m. on the USA Network. Group G, New Zealand versus Sweden, 4 a.m. NBC family broadcast family to be determined. Group E, Chile versus Japan, 7 a.m. Group E, Canada versus Great Britain, 7 a.m. Netherlands and China in Group F, 7:30. Also, Brazil and Zambia in Group F. The quarterfinals will be played July 30th. Semifinals, August 2nd. Bronze medal, August 5th. And the gold medal match will be on August 5th as well. So, there you go. We never thought we would do this, but we must. Ladies and gentlemen, let's open up the Olympic COVID tracker. Do we have to do this? Yes, we do. So, let's tell you who is not participating because they got the COVID. With the Olympics set to open on July 23rd, here's a list of all those who so far have tested positive for COVID, leading to the alteration of their Olympic dreams or the end of them altogether. Fabrizio Montaigne and Camilohelo Malazzi, July 19th. They were two players for the South African soccer team. They were both tested by analyst Mario Masha. Andrej Perusek, the 26-year-old beach volleyball player from the Czech Republic, tested positive while in the Olympic Village in Tokyo. Katie Lou Samuelson, a member of the United States 3-on-3 basketball team, tested positive for COVID and will be unable to play in the Olympics. She will be replaced on the team by Jackie Young. Neil Powell, the South African Sevens rugby coach, tested positive for COVID upon his arrival in Japan. He will not be able to do his thing. Kara Eker, the United States committee, confirmed that an alternate to the U.S. Gymnastics team, tested positive for COVID. She is out. Coco Gauff, a 17-year-old tennis player for the United States, withdrew from the Olympics due to a positive COVID test. Gauff had been slated to be the youngest tennis player in the Olympics in over 20 years. 6 members of the Great Britain Olympic team were reportedly forced to go into isolation after being exposed to a COVID case while on a flight to Tokyo. The athletes in question will be able to leave isolation upon passing 2 PCR tests. Bradley Beal and Jeremy Grant, two members of the U.S. men's basketball team, have both been placed in health and safety protocols. Now, while Beal has been ruled out for the Olympics, there is still hope that Grant will be able to make the trip to Tokyo, as Shams Shariana of The Athletic reported that Grant did not test positive for COVID. But precautions be precautions. Alex de Minaur, the number 17th ranked tennis player in the world and the top ranked Australian, withdrew from the Olympics after a positive COVID test. And that is your COVID Olympic tracker. Once again, there will be no fans in the Olympics, and some of the broadcasters who will be televising the games live will do so with a very skeleton crew. All right. Let's go from the Olympics to baseball. And the scoreboard presented by William Hill Sportsbook. Let's make it interesting, but we do it responsibly. That's right. We do things responsibly here. That's a first, isn't it? We do things responsibly. And before we do that, we want to remind you that Lost Blaney the interwebs tonight. More drama than you can stick a fork in. All that plus a lot more with the humble Minnesota lawyer, Mr. Nick Rekieta. That's coming up at midnight Eastern on the Rekieta Law Channel here on YouTube. And here we go and play fifth inning. The Padres lead the Padres lead to 5-4-0 for the Pods, 4-4-0 for the Braves. Unfortunately, weather inclement though it may be, has put the game under suspension. Not yet postponed, but under suspension. They still might play, but we'll hopefully get you some more information before we have to say our good nights. Ninth inning, the Cubs and the Cardinals are tied at 2-7-1 for the Cubbies, 2-11-0 for the Cardinals. Sixth inning, the Dodgers, they are World Series defenders. They lead the San Francisco Giants 2-1, 2-3-0 for the Dodgers, 1-2-0 for the Giants. Final scores, we got them, you want them, we'll have them here, but we're going to condense again, not give you the players of the game because we got too much sports to bring you, and we want to make sure we hit that end at 12:30. So without me talking, let's go to it. Actually, 12:35. Let's go to it. Tampa Bay Rays defeat the Baltimore Orioles 5-4, 5-9-0 for the Rays, 4-9-2 for the Orioles. McHugh for the Rays gets the win. He's 3-1. Scott gets the loss. He's 3-4. In the first game of the doubleheader between the Padres and the Braves, Padres beat the Braves by a score of 3-2, 3-7-1 for the Pods, 2-5-0 for the Braves. Paddock gets the win for the Padres. He's 6-6. Mueller gets the loss. He's 1-3. And Melincon gets his 28th save. We keep going. New York Mets blank the Cincinnati Reds 7-0, 7-9-0 for the Mets, 0-1-1 for the Reds. Stroman gets the win for the Mets. He's 7-8. Hoffman gets the loss. He's 3-5. Kansas City over Milwaukee 6-3, 6-11-0 for the Royals, 3-6-0 for the Brewers. Keller gets the win for the Royals. He's 7-9. Suter gets the loss for the Brews. He's 9-5. And Barlow gets his 5th save. All right. The Kraken of Seattle were released, but that didn't help the Mariners of Seattle with a victory. Rockies rocked their world 6-3, 6-6-0 for Colorado, 3-5-0 for Seattle. Gomber with the win. He's 7-5 for the Rockies. Middleton gets the loss for the Mariners. He's 0-1. And Vobald strode up and won his 15th save. Arizona Diamondbacks beat up on the Pittsburgh Pirates 6-4, 6-12-1 for the Diamondbacks, 4-11-0 for the Pirates. The Goose was not cooked. he got his win for the DBs. He's 2-0. Underwood, that ham, the deviled ham, got the loss. He's 2-3, and Soria gets his 6th save for the Diamondbacks. Final in 10 innings, Miami Marlins over the Washington Nationals 3-1, 3-6-1 for the Marlins, 1-6-1 for the Nats. Floyd with the win, he's 3-4, and for the loss, he's 5-3, and Garcia with his 14th save. In 10 innings, the Yankees beat up on the Phillies 6-5, 6-9-1 for the Yanks, 5-4-1 for the Phils. Krisky got the win for the Yanks. He's 1-0. Suarez got the loss for the Phils. He's 4-3. Red Sox helped topple the Blue Jays 7-4, 7-9-1 for the Sox, 4-5-0 for the Blue Jays. Richards gets the win for the Red Sox. He's 6-5. Ray got the loss for the Blue Jays. He's 8-5. Yep, he's 8-5. And Barnes gets his 20th save for the Sox. Detroit Tigers spanked the Texas Rangers again, 4-2, 4-7-0 for the Tigers, 2-5-0 for the Rangers. Manning gets the win. He's 2-3 for Detroit. Lyles gets the loss. He's 5-7 for Texas, and Soto gets his 10th save for Los Tigres. All right, Cleveland Indians laid waste to the Houston Astros 5-4. 5-8-1 for the Indians, 4-6-1 for the Stros. Shaw gets win for the Indians. He's 5-3. Pruitt gets a loss. He's 0-1. And Karinchak gets his 11th save. And finally, the Minnesota Twins blew into the Windy City to take out the Chicago White Sox 7-2. 7-11-2 for the Twins, 2-10-0 for the White Sox. Pineda gets the win for the Twins. He's 4-5, and Cease, finally desisted, and he's 7-6. Okay, we go from the majors to the minors. Let's kick it in gear. Let's go first to the scores. And as we do, we go first to AAA. And everything is final, and I mean everything. Let's give you the 4-1-1. In 10 innings, Nashville beat Jacksonville 7-1, 7-14-0 for Nashville, 1-8-1 for the Jacksonville folk. Norfolk defeated Gwinnett 2-1, 2-5-0 for Norfolk, 1-7-0 for Gwinnett. That was in the second game. In the first game, Gwinnett defeated Norfolk 4-3, 4-5-2 for Gwinnett, 3-5-0 for Norfolk. Toledo over Indianapolis 11-5, 11-12-2 for Toledo, 5-5-0 for Indianapolis. Final in game 1 of 2, it was Memphis over Louisville, 5-4, 5-9-0 for Memphis, 4-5-1 for Louisville. In the second, the late night dip. There we go. Thank you. Memphis defeated Louisville 1-0, 1-7-0 for Memphis, 0-6-2 for Louisville. Okay, final score, Durham over Charlotte, 7-3, 7-6-0 for Durham, 3-6-1 for Charlotte. Buffalo over Syracuse, 5-3, 5-7-1 for Buff, 3-6-2 for Syracuse. And boys, we got to blow that siren again. Because a no-hitter, that's right, we got a no-hitter to report on. And that no-hitter came from Scranton Wilkes-Barre versus Rochester. Scranton Wilkes-Barre got the win, 8-0. Rochester lost in an embarrassing way. Scranton Wilkes-Barre 8-10-0, and Rochester 0-0-2. Wasn't a perfect game, but it was a great no-hitter nonetheless. Worcester 7-4 over Lehigh Valley, 7-10-1 for the Chester, 4-8-2 for Lehigh Valley. Columbus over Iowa, 7-4, 7-10-0 for Columbus, 4-10-1 for Iowa. St. Paul over Omaha, 7-6, 7-14-1 for St. Paul, 6-8-2 for Omaha. And that is your AAA. Let's go now to the AA. That's the folks that make things fun and interesting. Well, next to high A, but here we go. So if we're ready, let's go for her. Yay! Akron. Boom. Akron over Richmond, 3-0, 3-7-0 for Akron, 0-4-0 for Richmond. Portland over Harrisburg, 11-6, 11-15-2 for Portland. Harrisburg, 6-12-1. San Antonio over Springfield, 10-5, 10-15-1 for San Antonio, 5-12-0 for Springfield. Bowie over Hartford, 20-7, 20-20-3 for Bowie, 7-13-2 for Hartford. Final in 10 innings, Binghamton over Erie, 3-2, 3-10-0 for Binghamton, 2-7-2 for Erie. Altoona can't wait, but Somerset, well, waited too much. Altoona beats Somerset, 9-6, 9-9-0 for Altoona, 6-7-1 for Somerset. Reading fundamentally defeated New Hampshire 7-6, 7-12-0 for Reading, 6-8-0 for New Hampshire. Final, Birmingham over Chattanooga 17-9, 17-18-1 for Birmingham, 9-13-2 for Chattanooga. Midland over Corpus Christi 3-2, 3-4-1 for Midland, 2-11-1 for Corpus Christi. Tennessee over Rocket City 12-8, 12-10-0, 12-10-3 for Tennessee, 8-9-0 for Rocket City. Pensacola over Montgomery. Their biscuit was cooked. 7-3 final score. 7-4-1 for Pensacola. 3-7-3 for Montgomery. Biloxi over Mississippi. 14-3. 14-20-0 for Biloxi. 3-7-2 for Mississippi. Northwest Arkansas over Tulsa. Tulsa over Northwest Arkansas. 3-2. 3-7-0 Tulsa. 2-5-1 Northwest Arkansas. Springfield beat San Antonio in game one of their Twinighter, 9-3, 9-12-0 for Springfield, 3-6-3 for San Antonio. In the 10th inning, Frisco over Amarillo, 7-6, 7-9-1 for Frisco, 6-8-1 for Amarillo. And Wichita over Arkansas, 6-4, 6-6-1 for Wichita, 4-5-1 for... Who played them? You guys speed me out. Arkansas. All right. Let's go from the double to the high. High A time. 7th inning, it is Everett 3, Vancouver 1. In the bottom of the 7th, Spokane over Tri-City 3-1. In the top of the 5th inning, it is Eugene over Hillsboro 4-3. Final scores, West Michigan over the Lansing Lugnuts, 5-1, 5-6-0 for West Michigan, 1-4-0 for Lansing. Bowling Green over Rome, 4-3, 4-8-1 for Bowling Green, 3-7-0 for Rome. Wisconsin over South Bend, 7-2, 7-11-0 for Wisconsin, 2-3-0 for South Bend. Hickory over Asheville, 13-4, 13-15-0 for Hickory, 4-10-1 for Asheville. Winston-Salem over to the Jersey Shore, 10-4, 10-12-0 for Winston-Salem, 4-10-1, for the Jersey Shore. And reload, please. This is high A. Thank you. Okay, where were we? Excuse me, guys. Thank you. We do scores here on this broadcast. Okay, let's see if we can't get things back in order here. As we said, West Michigan over Lansing, 5-1. Bowling Green over Rome, 4-3. Wisconsin over South Bend, 7-2. Hickory over Asheville, 13-4. Winston-Salem over Jersey Shore, 10-4. Brooklyn over Wilmington, 5-3. Great Lakes over Lake County, 5-0. Greenville over Greensboro, 5-3. Hudson Valley over Aberdeen, 8-0. Fort Wayne over Dayton, 9-3. Quad Cities over Peoria, 9-4. Beloit over Cedar Rapids in 11. It was 1-0. Now, finally, we go to low A. And we got some games still going on in low A that we will get to in just the briefest of moments. Let's go to it. Bottom of the 8th inning, Fresno over Modesto 5-2. In the 7th, it's 5-4. Let's try again. In the top of the 7th, it's 5-4. Inland Empire over Lake Elsinore. Final scores, St. Lucie over Bradenton 5-4. Stockton over San Jose 6-2. Kannapolis over Fayetteville 5-4. In the second game, in the first game, Kannapolis swept them 5-2. Down East over Carolina 12-4. In the second game, in the first game, Carolina beat Down East 9-1. Lynchburg in the first game beat Delmarva 4-2. They swept it with a 7-4 victory, Lynchburg over Delmarva. We got Tampa over Clearwater 6-5. Jupiter over Palm Beach. By the way, that was in 10 innings. Jupiter over Palm Beach in 11, 6-5. Dunedin over Lakeland 11-2. Daytona over Fort Myers 7-1. Charleston over Myrtle Beach 11-0. Salem over Fredericksburg 4-2. Columbia over Augusta 7-5. Pancho Cucamonga over Visalia 9-3. And that is a look at baseball right through the numbers. That's right, folks. We've given you baseball, both in the majors and in the minors. And right now, let's get back here and get you some sports headlines, which we will do in grave detail. All right. Vince Williams, the longtime Steelers Vince Williams, the longtime Steelers linebacker, has announced his retirement. That's right. Just before the start of training camp, veteran linebacker Vince Williams announced his retirement from the NFL. Thank you. You want to make sure we're not disturbed again? Thank you. Let's try one more time and let's get it right. Training camp, veteran linebacker Vince Williams has announced his retirement from the NFL. After 8 seasons, Steelers announced that on Wednesday, Williams I'm screwing up, aren't I? Yes. Before the start of training camp, veteran linebacker Vince Williams announced his retirement from the NFL after 8 seasons in the league. The Steelers announced on Wednesday. Williams spent his entire career with Pittsburgh and was the second longest tenured defensive starter, Cam Haywood being the longest tenured on the team, and the third most tenured Steeler, Haywood, and Ben Roethlisberger being the two. The team was notified of his decision to walk away from the game on Wednesday, and the organization commended his efforts given to the franchise over the course of the tenure. Williams was drafted in the 6th round, 206 overall, by the Steelers back in 2013 and blossomed into a key piece to their defense. In 14 games played, all in starts. Last season, the 31-year-old totaled 70 tackles, a career-high 14 for a loss, and 3 sacks for his career, 121 regular season games. Williams finished with 479 tackles, 20.5 sacks, and 50 tackles for a loss. As for who may be replacing Williams within the Pittsburgh's defense, could very well turn into a camp battle consisting of Robert Spillane, Marcus Allen, and rookie Buddy Johnson. The team did recently sign linebacker Melvin Ingram to a 1-year deal, but he primarily plays on the outside, meaning he likely won't factor in filling Williams' shoes. We wish them luck. All right, let's go to it. Could the SEC be 12 teams? The Big 12 powers, Texas and Oklahoma, inquire about joining SEC in a potentially massive shakeup. That's right. With college football playoff With college football playoff expansion on the horizon and the sport as a whole undergoing radical change, another round of conference realignment may be on the horizon as Texas and Oklahoma have reportedly reached out to the SEC about joining the league should the two Big 12 powerhouses choose to leave their home conference. Citing, quote, a high-ranking college of the situation, the Houston Chronicles' Brent Zwerk first reported that the SEC could announce the addition of the Longhorns and Sooners within a couple of weeks. Texas initiated conversation, according to an AP source. The Horns are expected to inform the Big 12 they do not plan to extend their grant of media rights deals with the conference, according to Stadium's Brett McMurphy, who also reports that there is interest on both sides of the conversation. The Big 12's grant of rights agreement expires in 2025. SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey would not address the reports while in attendance at 2021 SEC Media Day on Wednesday. Texas and Oklahoma released similar statements refusing to acknowledge the reports. Texas A&M Athletic Director Ross Bjork made it clear to gathered media Wednesday that he wants the Aggies to be the only team from Lone Star State in the conference. Texas A&M and Missouri were two teams that left the Big 12 for the SEC in the last round of conference realignment nearly a decade ago. Here's an idea. Why don't you steal one from the Big 10 in the Ohio State? I know that'll mean the end to a big rivalry, but, well, let's face it. It's a bit one-sided nowadays, don't you think? Anyway, let's keep going. We got more here, including we will have the expansion draft recap of the Kraken. In college football, let's just read it from the script. Thank you. Legendary Florida State football coach Bobby Bowen has been diagnosed with a terminal medical condition, the Tallahassee Democrat confirmed with the family on Wednesday. The 91-year-old coached the Seminoles from 76 to 2009, building the program into a national powerhouse by amassing a 304, 97-4 record over that span. He won 12 ACC titles and 2 national championships. FSU's national titles under Bowden came in 93 and 99. An Alabama native, played at Howard, now Stanford, and began his coaching career there before landing on staff at West Virginia in 66, eventually rising to become the Mountaineers coach in 1970. 6 seasons in that role, he assumed the job at FSU and built the program into one of the elite in college football. All right. In Major League Baseball rumors, trade-wise, let's do it. That's right. MLB's July 30th trade deadline is now fewer than 10 days away, and that means it's time to let the rumors flow. And here's some of the big ones. One of the big storylines of this deadline is whether or not the Nationals make their ace, former Detroit Tiger Matt Scherzer, available. Scherzer, an pending free agent who has earned a no. Let's skip back. Come on. Gotta get back. Who has earned a no-trade clause by virtue of his 10-5 rights, would immediately become the top starter on the market. Alas, the Nationals themselves don't seem to know which direction they'll be taking between now and then. Tampa Bay Rays are among the teams with interest in Twins designated hitter Nelson Cruz, according to Ken Rosenthal of The Athletic. Tampa Bay has been linked to Cruz in the past, and he would be a sensible addition for a lineup that ranks 13th in Fangraph's WRC measure. The 41-year-old Cruz enters this Wednesday. The 41-year-old entered Wednesday 295, 373, 538 with 19 homers in 84 games. He would rank first on the Rays and tied for second in homers. There's a catch. As it pertains to the Rays' interest in Cruz, it would be that they'd have to play Austin Meadows in the outfield. The Rays, though, preference or necessity tend to prioritize defense over offense. Hey, how you doing there, LDG? Glad to see you. All right. Glad to see you. Glad to have you with us. Let's get back to more sport here. And we've got a big deal in football, folks. Fred Warner has parlayed his fast start into a big-ass, massive payday. The 2018 Third-round pick has agreed to a 5-year, $95 million extension with the 49ers that includes $40.5 million guaranteed, according to the NFL god Adam Schefter of ESPN. The deal makes Warner the league's highest-paid linebacker. A starter since his rookie season, the former BYU standout racked up 124 tackles during his first season in San Francisco. In 2019, Warner tallied 100 tackles along with 3 forced fumbles in his first career interception. Warner's play that season helped propel the 49ers to an NFC title. And an appearance in the Super Bowl LIV, which is 54, last season. Despite injuries to a host of his teammates, Warner continued to produce at a high level. He earned his first All-Pro selection after tallying 125 tackles, 2 interceptions, 2 fumble recoveries, and a forced fumble. That's cool. And it kind of looks like even the Magic Man couldn't help. The basketball gods have never wanted Chris Paul to play for the Los Angeles Lakers. When the then New Orleans Hornets traded 6-year-old Paul to the Lakers, former Commissioner David Stern, acting as governor of the league-owned Hornets, axed the trade for basketball reasons. The stars never aligned for Paul and the Lakers ever again. They didn't have cap space when he became a free agent in 2013. They did 4 years later, but with Kobe Bryant retired and no co-stars in place, Paul instead forced his way to Houston. He became a free agent again only a year later. And as tempting as the opportunity to join with the newly signed Laker and close friend LeBron James must have been tempting, Paul chose to remain with the Rockets after they came 1 game short of the NBA Finals. He was traded to Oklahoma City a year later and Phoenix thereafter, with the Lakers focused on building around the James Anthony Davis. But every time Paul becomes available, Laker fans beg for the team to pursue him. The 2021 offseason will be no different, as Paul has a player option in his contract with the Suns. Laker legend and former team president Magic Johnson started the campaign on Twitter after Game 5 of the Finals. Sadly, Johnson's time running the Lakers doesn't seem to have given him a realistic understanding of how the salary cap works. Yes, Paul technically has the capacity to become a free agent. Yes, the idea of finally uniting with James and pushing for his first championship in the city where his family still resides, no doubt, holds some appeal. But Paul is the president of the National Basketball Players Association, and as such, he has always prioritized earning power in order to set the precedent that players shouldn't leave money on the table. He has been making max money for literally the past 12 seasons, and while those days might be behind him, he isn't suddenly going to dip down to a salary low enough for the Lakers to be able to afford him. The difference between what the Lakers and Suns can offer Paul is absolutely enormous. The salary cap for next season is projected to come in at around $112.4 million. Right now, Lakers have $112.2 in salaries committed for the next season. That does not include Montrezl Harrell's player option, the number 22 overall pick, or any of their own free agents. Barring several surprise trades, the Lakers are not going to have cap space this offseason. In fact, even if they wanted to create space, they couldn't legally generate enough of it to outbid Phoenix. All right, let's get down to business. The NHL expansion draft, and only one team got to play in it, and that is the Seattle Kraken. So we released the Kraken and give you the expansion draft selections. Defenseman Jeremy Lauzon, Boston Bruins. William Borgen, Buffalo Sabres. Dennis Cholowski, Detroit Red Wings. Goaltender Chris Drager, Florida Panthers. Defense Cale Fleury, Montreal Canadiens. Goaltender Joey Daccord. Centers Yanni Gourde, Tampa Bay. And by the way, Ottawa, Joey Decord, goaltender. Okay. Back to the business here. Toronto's Jared McCann and Carolina Hurricanes Morgan Geekie. Defenseman Gavin Brayuther. Jersey Devils, Nathan Bastian. Right wing for New York Islanders, Jordan Eberle. Center for New York Rangers, Colin Blackwell. Left wing, Philadelphia Flyers, Carson Warinsky. Defenseman, Pittsburgh Pirates, Brandon Tanev. Vitek Vanecek, the goaltender for Washington Capitals. Tyler Pitlick, the center for the Arizona Coyotes. Chicago Blackhawks, John Quinville. The big captain, or center, if you will. Let's see what we got here. Let's see, Tyler Pitlick, Arizona Coyotes center. John Quinville, center of the Chicago Blackhawks. Jonas Donskoy, right wing, Colorado Avalanche. Defenseman of the Dallas Stars, Jamie Olasak. Defenseman for Minnesota Wild, Carson Soucy. Center for the Nashville Predators, Callie, and it just blacked out again. Okay. Kale Jarenkrock, Nashville Predators. St. Louis Blues defense, Vince Dunn. Winnipeg Jets center, Mason Appleton. Defense, Anaheim Ducks, Hayden Fleury. Calgary Flames, Mark Giordano. And Edmonton Oilers defensive man, Adam Larson. Curtis McDermott, defense, Los Angeles Kings. Alexander True, forward of San Jose Sharks. And Cole Lind of the Vancouver Canucks, the right winger. And that, ladies and gentlemen, gives you that. And a little reminder, we got about 3 minutes left. So let's give you a quick update. Maria Taylor has left ESPN and is close to a deal with NBC, which means that she could actually join their Olympic coverage by Friday, the start of the Olympics, with the opening ceremonies. We'll just have to see. Tom Brenneman, the former Cincinnati Reds play-by-play voice, will be calling Cincinnati area high school sports for Chatterbox Sports. NPR screwed up. They used a photo of Kimberly A. Martin for a story about Maria Taylor. We want to wish her well, of course, as she goes to NBC, and quite possibly could it not be an exclusive contract, she could possibly pop up on Amazon. We'll just have to wait and see. And that is your scoping headlines from the media world. Let's take you now to some football. And here we go. Let's go for it. Wednesday. And the Europa Conference League qualifying, Sumquayat and Kukariki tied at 0 in the Gold Cup. Qatar over Honduras 2-0. Panama over Grenada 3-1. Scottish League Cup action, Ross County over Barora Rangers 1-0. Denver Montrose 2-0. Livingston over Wraith Rovers. Hi. Thank you. Let's see here. Livingston or Wraith Rovers ended in a goose egg tie, but Livingston won 6-5 on penalties. Air Dryodanians defeated Motherwell 2-0. And well, we've done the Olympic football. Yes, we did. Lowland League action, it was Bowness United and Gala Faradine 2-2. Broomhill and University of Stirling 1-1. East Stirlingshire over Val of Lothian 1-0. Cumbernauld Colts over Bonnyrigg Rose, Goose Eggs. Quaba defeated Atletico Guaynes 2-1. In Norway, it was Standerfjord over Haugesund 1-1. Sharpsborg and Mondelin 1-1. Lillestrøm and Stabæk 3-2. Strømsgodset over Odd 3-0. In Major League Soccer, Vancouver and Houston tied at 0. Columbus Crew and Nashville tied at 0. New England over Inter Miami 5-0. New York City over Montreal 1-0. And Toronto and the New York Red Bulls tied at 1. And folks, we are at that moment when we have to say our goodnights to you. So we're going to say goodnight. We're going to be back on the air tomorrow night at 11:35. And we want to thank you all for tuning in. Don't forget, Friday is the Olympics, 7:30 Eastern time on NBC. At least we hope so. There has been some grumbling, some inklings that the Olympics might still be canceled. We're going to stay by on that story coming up. And we'll update you on a plethora of sports action tomorrow right here on the L2C Media Network. But for now, for everyone who's been a part of this, I'm Steve the Baxman Baxley. We'll see you tomorrow night. This has been a Mystifying Creativity production in association with the L2C Media Network and L2C Sports. We'll see you and talk to you tomorrow, everybody.